if, you know, memes are getting boring and if like these low float, high FTV tokens are just worse than meme price actions, then why not just buy something that's fully diluted, that's actually making cash?
Overnight, Gwei reached 0. I think it was 985, which
Jeez.
is, I mean, that was it was pretty impossible to imagine that scenario.
Other than just being the shiny new token compared to ETH, is like the main activity on the blockchain recently has been on Solana and been memes and predominantly facilitated by Pump.Fun. But it does feel like that is kind of coming to an end. Just anecdotally, like we can finish off the show by topping the market again.
Yep. Next time we'll see you guys at 44,000 BTC. The Polygon Community Grants Program was launched with 1 billion tokens, all for Polygon builders. Season 1 is live right now and features 35 million in MATIC to support the next generation of Polygon projects. Builders on Polygon, these grants are for you. Join the aggregated future today by applying at polygon.technology/grants. Nothing said on 0x Research is a recommendation to buy or sell securities or tokens. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and any views expressed by anyone on the show are solely our opinions, not financial advice. Boccaccio, Ryan, and our guests may hold positions in the companies, funds, or projects discussed. What's up, guys? Just wanted to give a bit of context before today's episode. At 0x Research, we're going to be doing a new series within the podcast called Fig Talk, which will be more CT native and more risk on. Before we get started with today's episode, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Swanson Benson, who coined the term Fig Talk and graciously allowed us to use the name for the podcast. And I just wanted to also give an extra huge NFA DYOR. Let's get to it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of 0x Research. Today, I'm joined by Tolks from Page One and Kez from Parsec. Before we get started, I'm just going to shill Permissionless Free, which is happening from October 9th to the 11th in Salt Lake City. If you want to come, hang out, learn about, or talk about crypto, make sure to use code 0x10 while buying your tickets so that Blockworks Research continues to be happy with me. Okay. Talks, Kez, how are you guys doing?
Well, lol, that was funny. Yeah, I'm good. How you going?
Good.
Good morning. Yeah, come out to Permissionless. I'll be there, and I use my 0x10 code like a good boy. So
very good.
Nice.
Very good. I don't know how to get started because last time we were on a pod was like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months. Jesus,
I think it's been 2. Yeah,
it's been 2, and we were very, very bullish at the top. We were actually talking about this beforehand, but we were. I think, was it the top or no?
It was literally, yeah, dude. It was like 72K, just over 72K on like the 7th of June.
Yep. See, that's so we were very bullish at the top for what it's
Good
like.
intention. Good intention.
It was. I think it was fine. Like logically, it made sense. The ETH ETF had just launched. Unfortunately, like throughout my time in crypto, I've always been like, "Oh, this is not sell the news," and it's always been just every single thing that has ever happened has always been sell the news.
Yeah, and we got like I think later that day we got like the 1.1 billion of inflows day, and it was just the absolute top. And it was one of those like, it was just at that level too, like right at previous all-time high, and I should have been much better about it, but it was like it should expand past.
It was like the 4th tap. It was like the 4th tap in like a 2-month range. Like usually you think that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think it was a problem with being bullish there, but it should have been a hard pivot after you didn't, get follow through to like 80K or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the timing of that was pretty funny. So
well, this time we're kind of diddling in the middle, so we can't mark the top at least. The top.
Yeah, I mean things look. Since then we've had. I mean, the supply overhang that we've kind of chewed through has just it's been ridiculous, in a good sense. I mean, from Mt. Gox to Jump recently. I mean, you have Genesis Trading started distributing a couple weeks ago. You had the German government obviously sell. I think the final week where they were selling, they sold what 3 billion in a week, and then. What I think there's another overhang too, but I mean we've kind of chewed through all that and kind of hung in here. After the wipe last week, that was very, very macro driven. But yeah, I mean, things like Kez said, we're kind of diddling in the middle here, but I mean, things look pretty good from my end. Um, Quiet summer, low liquidity. There's a lot of odd moves, but as far as through the end of the year, the plan was always kind of a quiet summer. I wish I would have stuck to that more. You always kind of talk yourself out of it, even when you get to April and May and you plan it out, kind of talk yourself out of it. But we're getting past that point now, and September is just a couple weeks away. And I think things look pretty good and constructive through the end of the year. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I kind of want to touch up on that like supply overhang thing because it felt like the past 2 months they've sold so much.
I mean, yeah, and then the other thing is like those the whale accounts or like dormant addresses. I feel like every time there's a tweet from them, it's just like, oh, dormant address for 5 years, dormant address for 7 years. Like somebody moves, 100 million of BTC or 50 million of ETH. Like it's just nonstop.
Yeah,
It really is. Hey, I've got those CoinGlass notifications on my phone for just like random, big transfers, and it's fully nonstop. Luckily, those kinds of things do feel like they have less of an effect over time.
yeah, but yeah, my like I guess I don't want to mark it off again, but like you said, we're kind of like in the middle of stuff. But my entire thesis throughout all of those has been like when the German government was telling, I was like, okay, better now than later. We're getting over all of it, and then like Mount Gox, okay, great. Let's just keep getting over this stuff. It's just gonna get better after this, and then I'm sure they'll come up with something else. But then
Yeah,
Mount Gox ended, and I was like, we're in the clear now. Like, well, I mean, it didn't end. People are still selling whatever, but like the worst is behind us. And then Jump just starts selling
Yeah.
clips of ETH like out of nowhere.
on an illiquid Sunday too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, things even like, I mean, you can look at just broad indicators. I mean, funding is still just really, really low across the board.
Mm.
OI after open interest after that wipe last week. I mean, it was back to November, early December levels. So, I mean, things are, I mean, it's pretty cleared out down below. So, and I think we've seen anytime BTC generally is, sub 60K, like 60K kind of seems to be that line in the sand where there's, you can get sell offs and wicks below, but the demand for sub 60K BTC just seems to be incredibly strong.
Yeah, totally. If you zoom out and look at the weekly looks incredible, in my opinion. Like we've just, exactly like you said, we've had numerous like hefty wicks below that kind of 60K level, but it always comes back up.
I was just gonna say, I mean, even with the unwind last Saturday and Sunday, and you have like the Japan carry trade, and I mean, macro had its worst like stock day since I think it was COVID, and the BTC inflows like when Bitcoin was I think around 52 that day, like while stock market was just massive volatility, and there was still IBIT had like 200 million pushed in and Monday
Yeah,
and
that was
Tuesday.
surprising to see after that.
Yeah,
Good to see.
so that demand, I think, for like I said, that kind of sub 60 is pretty clearly evident. So it gives you some confidence moving forward.
Yeah. And some of these alts like completely retraced all of the moves that they did by June 7th. Like the following 2 months, they just got slaughtered.
Yearly, you're talking like yearly gains; they're just all gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at least like, I mean, obviously all of the modular money ones have just been smacked down. Like looking at this TIA chart, it just feels like pain. Do you guys think there's value? I mean, obviously, or do you think that there's value down here at this point, or are you more like, let's just wait for the summer to be done and then maybe reassess? Ignoring majors and Solana, which is chosen by God himself.
It's the chosen one. But yeah, Kez, you want to go ahead?
I haven't had like a solid look at them, but I've definitely been seeing more chatter on the timeline. I had a look at Tia today. it doesn't look half bad, and there is kind of a thesis as to why there is a bit of demand for it at the moment. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I can't remember his name, but there's a guy who runs some sort of like OTC thing, and just saying that there is kind of constant demand for tea at the moment when there is sellers that get snapped up because of a form of carry trade. It's like it's the discount, I think, the discount on the OTC or something. But yeah, and the chart doesn't look half bad in my opinion, but I have no kind of opinion on the fundamentals or anything.
Talks, what about you? It doesn't have to be tier. Anything that you're interested in at this point?
Yeah, I mean, Maker and Aave have been of interest late. Helium as well. Helium's been one of the best performing coins. I've put out a short little thesis on Twitter on that maybe like a month ago now. But outside of that, I mean, I've been heavily weighted towards like Sol, BTC, and then memes essentially for, I don't know, it feels like close to a year now. And I just don't know. I don't know. As far as alts go, like I get the thesis, I see it, and but I don't have a deep desire yet to go scooping. It kind of I don't know, maybe it's the quiet summer and the way the range that we've been in for what 5 months now. Um, but it just kind of feels a little bit like NFTs to me, where people kept saying, they'll come back, they'll come back, they'll come back, and
Mm-hmm.
my take was always like, I'll wait for and miss the first 20, 30, 40%, because if they're going to come back, like the returns you can capture are, you don't need that first
Yeah.
20, 30, 40%. And I understand that, you can miss out on maybe the initial move there, but to me, I'd rather see it proven versus going to chase. That's kind of just the way that I operate and trade. So I'm a little more hesitant than some of this, I guess, sentiment and stuff we've seen on the TL. Like I said, I understand the thesis, and there's some stuff towards the bottom of the barrel, but I'm okay with missing that first initial move and kind of have confirmation of the trend shift versus trying to end up getting trapped in something. Um, because I mean, there's still new launches, new coins. There's just it's never ending. So I just want to kind of have that initial phase proven to me before I go chasing.
Yeah, totally. I agree. As fun as it is to try and catch bottoms, and when you do it correct, definitely better RR in waiting for strength.
Yeah, no, I agree. Talks Maker and Aave are interesting. I've seen those around quite a bit now, like just in chats and on Twitter. Everyone's kind of like, okay, if memes are getting boring, and if like these low float high FTV tokens are just worse than meme price actions, then why not just buy something that's fully diluted, that's actually making cash, that is like used quite often, has actual PMF. um they've been getting shilled a lot. I'm just like kind of worried that there are a lot of funds allocated to them, and I don't know who the new buyer is. I guess like you can say that about every coin though, apart from memes. um but like I think Aave especially, because they also have some. I don't know if you guys have looked into this. They have a tokenomics upgrade. They're trying to do like buyback and redistribute for the token, so that could be interesting. And Makers obviously had that buy and burn going on for like a year now, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, it is kind of the fully circulating aspect is something that appeals to me. I mean, DeFi has been just slaughtered for 3 years now. Um, but yeah, I mean, you kind of have these OG protocols that they're fully circulating. I do agree. It is thinking of the next marginal buyer um, can be a little challenging sometimes. And if we do get kind of like really ripe environments, do people want to necessarily go back to the coins that are 4 years old versus chasing the new shiny things? So I see that hesitancy, but um, as far as what else to bid outside of the majors and memes, like it's few and far between. So those are two that, and it is because of, like you said, the tokenomics upgrades. They're still building um, actively. Cash flow. They're they're good protocols. So I don't really know what else to find. So that's kind of, I mean, the thesis there. Abe said, I mean, that lined up. I think I actually just saw that Mark Zeller was on, oh, what's the other? Why am I blanking on the Blockworks pod right now?
Bell curve. If
Yeah,
Mippo,
he's on Boca. Yeah, I saw his. I haven't listened to that yet, but and then Maker. I mean, Rune was teasing. They have the stock split, and then well, not stock split, but
the token split. Yeah, I mean, he's been
yeah.
doing that for a year and a half now. I don't know when it's going to go live. It was
What?
supposed to go live 2024, early 2024. So
Yeah, and then I thought it was this summer, so I think people kind of were chasing Maker a little bit, maybe a
yeah,
little early, me included, thinking that that would be coming by the end of summer, but we're pretty much at the end of summer now. Um, well, yeah, I mean, those are the main two, and like Helium, like I said, they're the ones that really stick out to me. Outside of that, I'm still searching.
fair enough. Fair enough. Kez, do you have anything else apart from saying that Tia looks kind of good?
No, no,
Oh,
I've been pretty much staying away from alts, pretty much just chilling and punting in the trenches.
that's fair. I think that's what most people do nowadays, to be fair. Like every once in a while, I get a little bit excited and buy some like whatever DeFi thing, and then I end up either losing a bit of money or it's like it stays stagnant while some meme that somebody else punted ends up going
Yeah,
1000x.
yeah, totally. And I kind of missed DeFi summer, so I don't have that like nostalgia that a lot of other people have with the Dino coins.
Hey guys, Permissionless, the event for crypto natives, is heading west to Salt Lake City, and we're bringing the biggest names in crypto together for an incredible can't miss event. Join me and the rest of Blockworks on October 9th to hear from more than 200 industry titans, including Nick White from Celestia, Shriram from AggLayer, and Keone from Monad. The conversations at Permissionless will be covering the hottest themes in crypto, including modularity, restaking, the Bitcoin and Solana ecosystems, AI and crypto, rollups, L2s, institutional adoption, and of course the November election that will be right around the corner. We couldn't be more excited about this event, and it's happening in one of the most beautiful places in the US. Ticket prices will be increasing towards the end of June, so get your ticket today. Make sure to use the code so I get some credit and bragging rights from the rest of the team. Use 0x10 for 10% off on your ticket. One more thing. We're also hosting the Permissionless III Hackathon in collaboration with BiddleBox. The theme this year is a multi-chain future, to build a better cross-chain experience so I don't have to have a heart attack every time I bridge to a new chain. All hackathon participants will receive a free ticket to attend Permissionless. So if you're a developer, come join us in Salt Lake City, team up with fellow devs, and build the multi-chain future. Polygon Labs is developing the next generation of open source ZK tech to aggregate crypto liquidity and user bases, empowering developers to grow in a unified web of interoperable chains with the AggLayer. The AggLayer is a machine for network effects. Don't worry about bootstrapping liquidity, just build anywhere in the AggLayer to tap the liquidity and users everywhere. To support the aggregated future and bootstrap quality projects, the Polygon Community Grants Program was launched with 1 billion tokens, all for Polygon builders. Season 1 of the Community Grants Program is live right now and features 35 million in MATIC to support the next generation of Polygon projects. For builders on Polygon or projects interested in migrating, these grants are for you. Join the aggregated future and feel empowered to grow in an infinite web of unified, interoperable chains. Apply today at polygon.technology/grants. One thing I feel like we have to talk about is something that Talks you brought up earlier, is the Gwei being really low, that Ethers cannot be adjusted. Do you want to chat about that a little bit? Just give them a idea of what happened.
It's Etherscan has 3 decimal points now. That's how low Gwei's gotten. And one of the first things I saw this morning after waking up was overnight Gwei reached 0. I think it was 985, which is, I mean, that was pretty. It was pretty impossible to imagine that scenario. As you know, even 3 months ago, 6 months ago. I mean, especially last cycle. I mean, it was bonkers. But it's not just the past, day, week. You can look at on ultrasound money, like I mean, the past 30 days, past couple months, really. I mean, Gwei's consistently been, sub 10, a lot of times even sub 5 for the past, I don't know, 2 months or so. It's
Yeah, I'm looking at the
It's
6
wild.
month chart here, and it's just been a steady. Like we had a big peak in March when everything was with the top basically, and it's just been a very steady downtrend. And then it's pretty much been like definitely below 10 and below 5 pretty much since May.
Yeah, I mean it was 0.98, 0.94. Yes, no, earlier today. It's like gas is the new oil, but it's that time that oil was.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
negative.
Exactly. I mean, we saw the spike when the sell off last weekend. I mean, Gwei was up at 650 or so as people were having to adjust on chain
$200
positions.
transactions.
Yeah, and liquidation. So I mean, it can still spike, but as far as like base demand for just transacting, doing anything on ETH, it's been very quiet the past few months, and a lot of that has moved to base, I guess, which is good long term. I suppose that's the thesis, but I mean, the L2s they need to improve by several orders of magnitude to offset mainnet. But yeah, I mean, I tried to be constructively bullish ETH for really the first time since like 23 over the 2023 over like the past week. Just how Jump was selling a bunch of ETH. You have the ETF live now for a couple weeks. You have all of the ETH conversions and outflows. You should start to see very constructive price action on ETH. But I mean, the underlying fundamentals are just still a little shaky, I'd say.
Yeah. To be fair, when you did tweet that publicly, bullish Sol ETH, ETH outperformance over Sol, it was pretty much the top, but it's just been kind of lackluster performance all around since then.
When was the last time you guys went on an L2, or like what do you do when you go on it apart from including
That's
aping?
a good question.
Yeah, I bought. I mean, just a little bit of like a base like meme coin. They had that base token launch yesterday, so I had a couple of transactions on there. But as far as outside of that, I mean, it's been a long time. What do they say that ETH is just used as for the fee to buy MOG?
Well,
because I'm trying to think about it, and all of the memes that I buy are always on Solana. Like I got hurt on base. I think I caught the tail end of base season, so
yeah,
I just haven't gone on it. Yeah, and like Brett was horrible. I never even traded it properly, but I think a lot of people won't go on there just like Brett versus Whiff. If is your chains like leading shitter, which one are you gonna buy?
Yeah, you're right. Like, obviously most of the activity is on Solana at the moment, and we can get into that a bit later. But obviously that's kind of starting to die off now as well.
Yeah.
Do we think we see kind of bases out of all the other ecos aside from Solana for memes? Base kind of has the most promising landscape potentially, or at least like a precedent for another time that it had at least like a mini base season kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. I mean, outside of Sol, it's the ecosystem that I definitely keep eyes on the most. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like I said, I want to be constructive ETH, but all the activity is on Sol, and even like I mean, the discussion, the TL, like everything, like the past couple of days, people have been talking about PumpFun and all the extraction, and then the PayPal stablecoin, like how the incentives to grow were bad, and it's just like all of the discussion is just Sol based. Like even it was something that I noticed yesterday. It's just like even trying to be bullish ETH, like it's just I don't know. It's a pretty fascinating time.
Yeah, like trying to be bullish ETH, people are just like, oh, but Solana has like pumped off funds.
Yeah, but then talking about and it's just like, but there's nothing on ETH to like talk about and discuss, and it's like I get that. So yeah, I mean that was something I really noticed yesterday.
I knew it was getting bad when people were talking about Pistol narratives on ETH, and I was like, okay, we gotta come up with something.
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel again.
Yeah, it's just people a little little burnout. And I saw it was funny, noticing all the discussion about the Sol stuff, and I'm sitting here trying to find every reason possible to be bullish, ETH Sol and ETH BTC, and then I see a tweet and it's just like, oh yeah, there's a new paradigm parallel EVM L2 that was just announced and funded. I'm just like, man, it's just so tiresome.
Yeah, it really is. Kez, you brought up something that I think we should speak about, and you wrote a big tweet about this as well. It blew up. No, is this that one where it was like pumped up
Yeah,
too much?
yeah, or kind of. It was more like posing the question, I suppose. But
You
yeah,
were
it did kind
early.
of feel like this. Yeah, it was. Hey,
You
did
were
feel like
early to the hate.
the sentiment really started going downhill from that. Yeah, so I suppose like one of the reasons that Solana has outperformed recently, other than just being the shiny new token compared to ETH, is like the main activity on the blockchain recently has been on Solana and been memes and predominantly facilitated by Pump.Fun. But it does feel like that is kind of coming to an end. Just anecdotally, like looking at the volumes of new meme coins, the kind of speed that the rotations are happening, and the inability for new memes to kind of stick it out and go to like that, 100, 200, 300, 400 million mark, like they were a few months ago. Something I have been thinking about a little bit more. It's funny, like Pump.Fun is starting to get a lot of hate recently, but I've been thinking about a little bit more, and like there's been all these like figures coming out about the general extraction coming from Pump.Fun and infra providers, like most of the, I'd assume like at least a fair chunk of the volume going through memes is going through a bot like Photon or BonkBot or BullX or whatnot. They all charge 1%, and then you have PumpFun charging their 1%, and etc. PumpFun cumulative revenue sitting at like 95 million in
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, gnarly. Hey, what is it, like 5 months or something now? 1.7 million tokens created. But yeah, been thinking about a little bit more that all of these like cumulative figures, Pump.Fun, 90 million, etc., don't really hold a candle to what we experienced in March. I've got the one of the sheets from Zach XPT showing how much Sol was raised for some of the pre-sales back in March, and the top one raised 170,000 Sol. Second was 160,000. Third was Slurf at 54,000. Yeah, like when you convert that back to USD, like a hell of a lot more was extracted back then than over like a gradual kind of period of the last 5 months or whatever since then.
For what it's worth, I don't think like trading bots is extraction. Like I'm paying Photon a fee because it makes it a lot easier for me to buy token X. And I think that's fine.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's not like a derogatory kind of connotation, but you are paying a fee for convenience. I wouldn't consider the extraction negative, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that the extraction framing is just kind of, I don't know. It seems it's very,
It just means
very
what's
silly.
coming out of the eco, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like sexes, everything in life kind of has fees. Like framing it as extraction is just, I don't know. There was a good tweet from Ceteris of Delphi, and it said our protocol revenue, their value extracted. Like it's just kind of
Yeah,
it's just a funny framing in my opinion. Like of course there's plenty of extraction that happens in like the Solana trenches and Memecoin trenches, but I mean the same thing happens on any chain. Like it's just the way that things work. Like I understand. I mean the hate for Pump Fun. Like I get it. No there's no barriers to create tokens now, and they're nonstop. But I think it's more of just kind of like a dwindling on chain kind of attention thing, and people just
yeah.
again like a
It's
slow
been a long
summer.
time.
Like
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes total sense. Like it's been a long time of people just fighting it out, losing money, some winning,
Yeah.
etc. Kind of the euthanasia roller coaster. We always reference that image.
And I think it can be somewhat similar to kind of like how BTC and alts used to trade, where BTC would go up, alts would go up, and then they'd all kind of slow bleed and rotate back to BTC. I kind of think that you might see that with like the major memes, like with Bunk, Pepe, etc. Like they all went on that massive run up until March. That obviously PumpFun, like they were devs, whatever. Like they had the idea and they were building it before that run. But you have that massive wealth creation there, and then PumpFun runs 3, 4, 5 months. I kind of think we might see that same similar cycle to where there's whether you want to call it quality or blue chip or what insert whatever you want to call it. But I think those memes, you kind of need to see more strength from the major memes, like and similar to how BTC has to go up for alts. I kind of think we'll see that same rotation where people just get really tired of playing the new launch games, and once you have kind of that middle to like high tier memes appreciate again, if they do, then I think you'll see more revival for new launches again. At least that's the way I'm thinking of it right now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That makes total sense. And I think the derogatory like extraction term or negative or whatever you want to call it, I don't think about it in negative. I just mean like what's coming out of the pool of capital that's trading these things, I suppose. But you make a really good point with like the centralized exchange fees. Like what PumpFun, I haven't actually looked into what like Binance and Bybit and stuff are making, but I'm sure it's a hell of a lot more than 90 million in 4 months.
Yeah. It's just, the framing is just, I mean, just calling it pure extraction is, like I said, like I understand, but it's just it's just a funny terminology for what's occurring. I mean, it's the same, like the users, everything's the same across chains. Like people want to permissionlessly trade coins, and like they'll pay fees to the services that help them do that better.
Yeah.
It was funny because as kind of that discussion really took off yesterday, and there was that PumpFun tweet that you can just scroll the comments and it's just it's it's something. But I saw yesterday it was from a Coinbase report, and the top 10 contracts on Ethereum by fees spent in the second quarter of 24. Number 1 was Uniswap. Number 2 was Jared from Subway. Number 3 was Tether. 4 was Banana Gun. 5 was Maestro. 6 was Uniswap V2. And then there's 0x and MetaMask Swap and 1inch. It's like these things are the same across chains, Like
that's a
those
very
are.
good
It's just MEV and Telegram bots because whether you want to call it extraction. Well, again, like they provide a service that people pay for. It doesn't make it good or bad, but the framing of just like pure extraction, I think is just a little silly.
I think things got a bit tough after Nero. I think that's like, if I could point something as like the tipping point. I mean, obviously, like we discussed this, and Kez, when you tweeted it out as well, it's like it's just been getting worse and worse over time. Like too many coins. Just you can't even play new launches anymore because every time there's like one event that happens, they'll launch a token, and then there'll be 7 others that launch, and people are like, "Oh, this is actually the original one." So like vampire attacks each other, and then it all ends up going to 0. And Nero was like the tip. I think the tip for this.
Yeah, totally. That was, I think, like aside from like the general money leaving the pool of capital that is willing to trade these kinds of markets, just general exhaustion. We've been doing this like in the euthanasia roller coaster kind of style since even before March. The lead up to, and people are just tired and losing their money, or like the vast majority of people without little flows to support that.
Yeah, there's no new money coming in. It's the same money that keeps playing the game, and then eventually you start running out. So you comment under Pump.Fun saying, "Hey, I hate you. You're taking too much money from me." It's like, it's not
Give me
his
my
fault.
money back.
It's a great product. Like, I don't want to simp for them too much, but it's a fan like.
Yeah.
PLF,
Yeah, I mean, somebody else would have built it. Like, yeah. I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah. Yeah, they killed it, man. Props to them. Like it's like a 2-person team or something.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when they got hacked?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And it was like, and they still came back from that. They had that one dude, the Quebecois guy. He hacked them. He like airdropped money to 2,000 wallets or something, and then they were like, "Yeah, we'll come back. We'll make $80 million in 3 months. Fuck you." It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's wild. But and I mean, I think like it is. People are tired, and it is like the euthanasia roller coaster, like Kez said. And there's they maybe they shouldn't be making that much money. All that can be debatable and stuff. But I do think they're aware of it, and trying to figure out ways to maybe put in a little more guardrails. I think I saw them tweeting
they
a little
ship
bit.
stuff all the time as well. Like the live stream, and I can't remember what else. Oh yeah, they did that zero fees thing the other day, which just makes the barrier to entry less. But they are still shipping stuff. And like bottom line is, as much as people hate them, they arguably have the best PMF of anything in the last 6 months.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna upset the Polymarket people, Kez.
Wait, we can talk about Polymarket. But before that, they had MarginFi launched Arena. And not Sweetland, Solend launched something similar as well. I can't remember what it's called. It's basically that both just let you short meme coins. And I don't know, have you guys checked any of them out? I just got a code like a few days ago, but I haven't. I really don't want to short meme coins.
I was just reading the doc before trying to figure out how it works. It definitely feels like pretty limited, at least in the beginning, because like these pools need to be. I think they can be permissionlessly created pretty soon. Right now, there's like 16 permission pools or something, but like these pools need to have people deposit into them for them to work. Because like if you want to, how does it work? If you want a long Bowden, I think the example they use is you have to already hold Bowden, and then to long it with like 2x leverage, you're like borrowing more Bowden against that Bowden using like a flash loan or something. So these pools have to be like stocked up basically. People got to lend, USDC and the meme coins into them. But cool idea. I love the idea. Like we should be able to short these coins.
Yeah, that's I don't know. It is a good idea. I'm glad it's built, and it'll be interesting to see it take off. But I will not be participating. they are they're volatile. Yeah, they're volatile enough.
Yeah.
I don't need to be long or shorting. Like sub 100 million market cap coins.
I don't short anything, so like I don't even know why I'm excited about this. But I think just the innovation of it, I suppose.
I was also going to say it might also be, like we said, Nero might have been a factor. Bowden might also be a factor because a lot of people were like, we collectively as CP fall for something and we're like, oh, political meme coins are the next big thing, like leading into the election. And we did it 3 months before the election and they all died out. Like they're all
died out. There's only so many times the same, however many 20,000, 30,000 people can be like, oh yeah, this is the new big thing. Like this coin is really good. And then the window for that thing being really good gets shorter and shorter. Like the people are tired. The trenches are tired.
Yeah, they need a break. They need a good reset. Or if somebody wants to, some protocol wants to airdrop a bunch of free money, that'd be cool too.
They don't do that anymore, man. Did you guys do dBridge?
I used it naturally a few times, but I'm pretty sure it'll be peanuts because I know that thing got farmed heavy. I had a few wallets that I was tracking that were just bridging like 50 ETH back and forth like all day.
Hey, that's a job, okay?
Hey, CPI just came out.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I'm looking at right now. Good numbers again. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I got $27 off dBridge.
Oh, is it token live?
You can check your allocation and then do some basic math.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You'll see the FDV come out, but it got farmed really heavy, and this is like the second Solana thing that's given me sub like what I want. I think Cloud was
sub.
How do you quantify sub what I want?
Well, I want Gorillions, and they gave me like 600 tokens, which pisses me off. I did only use it naturally though, and I'm happy I used it, and I'll probably keep on using it. Like this will probably be the only bridge or like app that I use, even though they kind of shafted me on the airdrop, because dBridge is genuinely really
It is
good.
great. Yeah,
It's
super
so
fast.
good. It's so good. It scared me the first time I used it. I was like, they got to be like housing inventory or something. Like I don't know. I've used
Yeah,
it
how
plenty.
you get from Sol to B&B in like 10 seconds?
I was gonna say in like 5 seconds, like base to the soul, and I'm just like, damn, that was quick. And then I'm like, wait, damn, that was really quick. That's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't get hacked, but like I remember using Wormhole back in 2021 because you had to use Wormhole, like if you were
Oh,
doing
that
Luna
was a
Soul.
nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
The worst experience in the world.
The worst.
Just have to go on the Discord and message them and be, hey guys, my money, can I have it back, please? It's stuck.
Yeah.
Flavor
Then
had
there's just
20k stuck in there for like 2 months.
oh, that's it. You had to go in the Discord, and then you just see thousands of just bots just saying like the same thing, and you're like, please, somebody just answer me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dBridge is good.
Let's do Polymarket because there's some hot takes that were floating around here. One of them I can see in my notes is that Tolks is calling the generational top on Polymarket, versus Kez, who said they're doing good.
I think last time we were on here, I wanted to call the fantasy top, and that was during that really hyped blast season that seemed to work out well for everyone.
Oh man, the amount of disappointing airdrops I've had recently. But yeah, tell us. I don't know much about Polymarket. I've never used it, but I've definitely been seeing lots more chatter about it. Kind of keeping tabs on it with the political odds, and when there was that Trump and Elon Spaces the other day, I was watching it as well because there was some funny bets people were making, like Trump saying tampon at some point during the Spaces, and it came true. He did it, and anyway,
Wait, he
yeah,
said
give us your take.
tampon during the Spaces?
Yeah, there was. I can't remember what the other two were. There were 3 like main bets. I think one of them was crypto,
Yeah,
which wasn't.
I think they had like I think they had like 10 markets or so on just words he would say and stuff. But yeah, I mean that Spaces that was the Yap Olympics. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it was 4.5 million traded through Polymarket, 4 bets about that Spaces, which is like not wild volume, but pretty solid, I would say, for what it is.
I wonder how much volume was on Pump.Fun related to Elon.
Oh, there was
I've got some anecdotal stuff about it.
there was a yeah coin because I guess it was launched because Elon just kept saying yeah, and somebody sent in one of my chats a screenshot last night, and it had 24. The 24-hour volume was 17 million, and the market cap yesterday was sitting at 78K.
Yeah, brutal.
It
Hey?
seems impossible, but yeah,
I think there was like over 10k coins launched during that like 2 hours or whatever it was, and I think because I was watching the whole time because it was basically like a transcript of the Spaces. Like you could like Photon has a very good plugin of like kind of new coins, ones about to graduate and ones that have graduated, and you can see them coming in like real time, and it was literally like a transcript of the interview.
speech to text AI just launching coins. But yeah, back to Polymarket. I mean, I guess my hot take is just that I think the users activity, coverage, everything. I mean, prediction markets in general seem to be. I mean, there's not too much to talk about in crypto right now, but it seems like everybody's kind of obsessed with prediction markets right now. And I guess my hot take would be that I just think Polymarket might forever top around the election. It's just such an idiosyncratic event. I mean, you can go on there and look at the kind of the volume traded of other, random events, whether it's like Federal Reserve related or, global politics. I mean, war, everything like that. Like the volumes are just incomparable to what has been bet on the election. And the volume that's bet is talked about a lot. And obviously everybody, you see the odds essentially a minimum once a day on the TL. but the liquidity is still like not great, you know? I mean, you can put like 100K into either Kamala or Trump, and I think it moves it like 4 or 5 cents just with 100K. So I guess my take would be that it definitely tops around the election. And I mean they're doing cool things. Like what they've built is awesome. I don't want to, take anything away from them, and they did integrate, I think, Perplexity AI, or they announced some partnership with them 2 days ago. I think on Monday, yeah. But yeah, I'm just a little more hesitant about the stickiness of non-election stuff.
I just don't understand why they launched it on Polygon.
I know, right?
Even
like
yeah.
Solana or something. It have way more way more markets going
on. Yeah, I agree with you, Tolks. Unfortunately, I have to agree with you and say that I do think, like, after election season, it probably dies out. I don't know how the other big ones do it, like Predicted and stuff, and if they die out after election season. But for what it's worth, like, I think if an app can be really useful for just like what it's been 6 months, like 6 months out of 4 years, every 4 years, I think that's fine. Like, it's not the greatest. I mean, I guess Polymarket did raise $70 million, so it's a bit much, just to be useful 6 months out of 4 years. But it's not horrible. Like, at least you can say, "Hey, look, we have one app in crypto. It is on Polygon, but it is crypto that's
No, we
used."
don't mention that part. You don't say that out loud.
They also
But
put
yeah.
it in the name, man. They love Polygon so much they named it. It's so crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean I agree with, and I do think like there is some, market value of having like permissionless prediction markets, for settling, just anything generally. Like, you can see scenarios where there's, global events, elections, things like that that are disputed, and you can see like a future where, and same thing with like AI, whether, is this thing created fake or real? Like you can see that scenario where you need like a global source of truth, and the best form of that is like, people putting, money and capital one way or the other. So like I understand, like I worry a little bit about, what the staying power is when it's not a 4-year election, once every 4 years election.
Yeah. No, that's definitely
Yeah.
fair. All right, let's do Hyperliquid. I think that's something that we have to cover, and we covered it 2 months ago as well. But I still love Hyperliquid. I'm not a big perps guy, but I do use, like, it's the only one that I've ever used. But I think A, Hyperliquid is good. B, I feel like the incumbents, dYdX, I can't believe they fumbled that. Like, they had such a crazy
big fumble.
lead. Huge fumble.
Did you see the tweet today though? I'm also a big Hyperliquid fan, and also not a big perps guy, but just in general, I don't know. I suppose we both see like the vision in general. But yeah, did you see the dYdX announcement before? They're basically implementing. They're trying to play catch up, implementing like a HLP vault kind of thing.
Yeah, I wonder if it's too little, too late. Probably not. For what it's worth, I think like dYdX is. I can pull up the volumes chart.
They still get a lot of volume. It's
It's just like they just built it at the right time. Like, no VC, the narrative is so fantastic. Their volume difference is very little for what it's worth. It's like they're basically the same over the past day and over the past 7 days. So I guess it's like you can't really say dYdX fumbled it. But that volume that Hyperliquid has could have gone to dYdX. So maybe. But yeah, anything else you guys have about Hyperliquid?
I suppose just that it does feel like they're getting more and more attention from kind of like legitimate builders outside of the Hyperliquid L1 chain, that are showing interest and want to build on Hyperliquid. There's a few like lending platforms. Someone's building another bridge at the moment. It's actually one of the like top perp trader top perp traders by volume on there. I think he's done like over 1.5 billion or something. But he's building like an EVM and Sol bridge to Hyperliquid. In Silico terminal, which is like a pretty prominent perps terminal, integrated them recently too. So yeah, just getting a lot of interest. Yeah, the spot tokens kind of, I think they peaked like not long after last time we chatted about it. They're definitely, aside from Per and HFun, and even both of them are like, you know, decently down as well. The rest of it's pretty in the bin at the moment. And new launches are kind of, they used to be launching, you know, at 300, 400, 500k and kind of going up for a little while. Like Panda, one of them got to like 6 or 7 million market cap, I think. And now they're kind of launching at like 100k and going nowhere. So demand on the spot side has definitely dried up to play devil's advocate. Because yeah, even though I am generally quite a big Hyperliquid bull, I do want to, you know, kind of keep myself level and think about how it could not work out. And yeah, at the moment, spots definitely not going great.
I wonder if it's consensus, like Hyperliquid. Do you guys think it's? I mean, there's nothing to have.
It feels like it's getting there,
yeah.
But I still definitely see a fair bit of hate on the posts, on the Hyperliquid bull posts.
Yeah, that's true.
It's got a lot of mindshare now.
Yeah, a lot of mindshare. I guess like you can't even really be consensus because you can't buy the token. So like
yeah,
until everybody holds the token and they're like, oh, stake the token for airdrops, really be consensus.
Stake the tokens on a launch pad.
Yeah, that's yeah, I don't know. I've been looking into Hyperlend, and I've been like scraping Twitter to find out new protocols launching on Hyperliquid, because if I can't get exposure to the Hyperliquid token, because I don't know when they're going to end the season. This season.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, do they have any final dates in place at all?
There is a final date. There's just no guaranteed, like, you know, TGE straight away or anything. But the points end at the end of September.
Yeah.
So we've got about 6 weeks left.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they're going to launch another points program. I hope they don't.
I really hope
not. But even after that, like you said, it's not guaranteed that there'll be TGE. And I wonder if there's like, because I think people are tired of Per and HFun. A lot of people just
we need something. We need a new kid on the block there for sure. Something that like actually, you know, contributing something of value to the ecosystem, because all the recent launches have just been like nothing, basically. Twitter accounts with like 3 followers. Like, people have just like bought the ticker because they think that they can make money off it, and obviously not the case.
Yeah. So let's see. I know Rage Trade launched on them. I'm not really hopeful of that team too much.
Hasn't gone well so far, token wise anyway.
No, it has not. I think that's good. I think we're good. Do you guys have anything else you want to bring up?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, just I think we're set up for. I mean, it's been a long summer and really long since, you know, March or so, the range. But I think we're set up, you know, pretty well heading in through end of the year. I mean, stablecoins are perking up a little bit. You know, DEX volume is rising, and I don't know, things look pretty good. The inflows, ETFs are live. You know, wirehouses, Morgan Stanley just got approved for the Bitcoin ETFs. That was last week. So, you know, these things take time, and I think like we talked about at the top of the show, we've chewed through never-ending supply, at least seemingly never-ending, and I think we're kind of perking our head out of the end of that, and things look pretty constructive from my end through end of year. So
yeah, I agree with you. I've actually taken, like, thankfully I didn't trade over the last few weeks, and I've just been trying to.
Good on you.
Was a good decision by me. I'm excited for like end of summer, and then hopefully, I really don't want to say it, but hopefully those supply like overhangs were the last of it, and there will not be another like jump type of situation. But you can never know. Going forward. Kez, are you also hopeful going forward?
Yeah, I'm definitely hopeful going forward. So let's we can finish off the show by topping topping the market again.
Yep. Next time we'll see you guys at 44,000 BTC. All right. Tolks, Kez, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for topping the markets once again.
Yeah,
Thanks.
always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, thank you so much for listening. Make sure to use code 0x10 while you're buying the permissionless tickets. Have a good day. Are you currently building on Polygon or interested in migrating? Season 1 of the Polygon Community Grants Program is live right now and features $35 million in MATIC to support the next generation of Polygon projects. Builders on Polygon, these grants are for you. Join the aggregated future today by applying at polygon.technology/grants.